Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable for entrepreneurs. 1M by 1M, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator for technology startups. I run it from Silicon Valley, but we are spread out. Our team is spread out, and entrepreneurs that we work with are all over the world. So in any given session, we tend to have lots of people from lots of different places. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. In support of that mission, we've been doing these free mentoring roundtables since 2008. Started with an experiment. This is the 657th session. We launched 1M by 1M actually because this experiment of online mentoring was successful. 1M by 1M came after this first experiment. We started 1M by 1M in 2010. So lots of online virtual mentoring work. This, remember, is a safe working session. We are on your side. There's no other agenda here other than working on your business, brainstorming, figuring out some strategic input with which you can do something actionable. We want you to succeed. We are completely on your side. There is no competition here. We want everybody to succeed to the best of their abilities. This is not Shark Tank. And if you disagree with my feedback, that's fine. It's your venture. You have the prerogative of doing whatever you want with it. So Santosh Patil from Bangalore is our first presenter. Santosh, please unmute your line and let's get started.
Yeah, thank you, Stramana, and thank you, Maureen, for giving us this opportunity to pitch. And I can see it's wonderful 657th session. It's a long way you have covered, and I'm sure you would have made a lot of difference to a lot of people in their entrepreneurial journey.
So Santosh, 657 free public roundtables. There's a whole paid program where there are roundtables on a weekly basis. So it's
I'm sure, yeah.
Thousands and thousands of roundtables.
But yeah, definitely we are looking forward to a much more engaging and fruitful session going forward. Yeah, so my name is Santosh, almost 25 years spent in core technology area, working with MNCs, handling Fortune 500 customers, handling their mission critical application migration and performance tuning on some of the biggest data centers. So while I was into a technical role, what happens post COVID, I started doing a consultancy where I started helping some of the D2C brands to achieve hyper growth that they were looking for. And a lot of people, they reached out to me to look into their tech stack and to support their technical tech ability to support their hyper growth. So one of the customer D2C brand that I started working as a director of tech there, it was in a Ayurvedic wellness space called Kapiva. So they've been doing 2 crore rupees a year. Now they are doing 30 crore a month. So that is the sheer volume they have increased with respect to number of transactions, number of orders, revenue, team, everything, right? So while I have seen these D2C brands growing, right? And when you grow, it brings their own challenges, right? And even after spending enormous amount of effort, bandwidth, resources, finally D2C brand, because I can see there are some D2C brands in this panel as well, right? So there is a burning pain with respect to the growth that they are looking for, is that the conversion is so low, right? That is 100 visitors coming to your website, finally 1 or 2 making a purchase, and 98% people, they just drop, right? And we cannot blame it saying that the price is not competitive, or maybe they didn't like the product, or those various options that our analysts say call, right? But yeah, the underhood reality that we have found out that Gen Z shoppers these days, they need an engagement platform before making a purchase. And if you see 99.9% of D2C brand today, they're all monolithic pages, right? Full of content, starting from images, product description, reviews, ratings, whatnot. They have put it on a product detail page and expect a visitor who has just shown an interest by clicking your content and landed on your product detail page, expect to read the entire dictionary of content which you have put it on a product detail page, right? And the study says that today's Gen Z shoppers, they don't have that much attention, that much patience to go and read those content, and they need then and there conversational ability to engage with the brand, ask questions, get their doubts clear, and make a purchase. And this is how ULAI went live with a couple of customers in last 3 months. 55% uptake in engagement, 27% uptake in revenue, and almost 80% reduction in OPEX with respect to their support system, right?
Yeah.
Support call support system. We have achieved already with these brands. And then see, one generation previous to us, they were well versed with keyboard, right? We are the generation who are well versed with touch and click.
Yeah.
Right? The new generation shift is towards speech, and that is the reason we have Alexas, Google Homes, your entertainment system, to car infotainment system, to your TVs. Everything is powered by voice these days. And sooner, if our monolithic websites doesn't allow us to provide that voice-enabled interface, they will be lagging behind. And that's where ULAI wants to bring that change. Yeah, we can go to the next screen. So these are some of the facts about online shopping, right? So today, 83% of shoppers, they need a personalized assistance to make the purchase. Without this is the public data, right? 73% of the customers say they need a tailored experience before they make a purchase. 47 to 50% want voice assisted support to make a purchase, right? So this is how the trend is shifting. Next slide. So this is our problem statement, right? So you go to any brick and mortar store, say Adidas and Nike, and you go to the store owner doesn't greet you well. Somehow you go inside, you pick up a product, and obviously as a buyer, I might have a lot of questions about a product, right? Warranty, exchange, accessories, colors, sizes, whatnot. And if the store owner says, or a support person there, a salesperson there, they say, all your questions, I have put it printed on a standee, just go and read there. Will you still be buying from that place, right? It is same thing with online visitors. Online visitors, when they land up on a website, our website just says the same scenario, that they have to go and read the content when they need to get the clarification to their doubts. And that is where ULAI brings in the pre-purchase scenarios where customers, they need more engagement platform. We are there to help them with answering those questions or concerns which customers might have, and thus improve the top line. We have seen almost, like, as I said, 27% uptick in revenue using this technology. So what happens, what we are doing here right now is, many of these, we are working on engagement platform, and there are only two ways to have an engagement platform, right? One is a call, which is like someone physically, some agent has to be there to receive the call. Second is a chat system, right? Now the chat system is not new, it's pretty old, like almost like 10, 15, 20 years, chat system is getting evolved, right? Now what happens is, these chat systems are derived from if and else conditions, rule based, right? If the intent is hi, hello, hey, then respond hello, how can I help you, a greeting message, right? So if else condition. If someone types an open-ended question, right, like for beauty and personal care, the type of questions Gen Zs are asking is, I have a pimple problem. Now the current search system doesn't give them that response, right? Because it is very personalized question, right? They need solution to their personal issues. They are not looking for a cream which handles or which
so you would train the language model on the particular customer's issues and then answer in natural language in voice.
Yes.
That's what is offering.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we have done is we have built the entire engagement platform on top of ChatGPT. Now, since it is an OpenAI large language model, it understands the intents, any
Yes.
type of open-ended questions, which we understand using our own AI backend and process it and provides using the product metadata that we use to read and train our models from your store and render those responses at a real time and at a scale.
Yeah.
So this is the overall architecture. So here we have two patents we have applied in India. So the patent says it's basically an innovation where what happens is if there are 100, I'm sure I have time, right? Or it's a limited.
There is limited time, but you have time still. So please keep going.
Okay.
I will give you a signal
Okay.
when you're running out
Okay.
of time. But please go
For
ahead.
country like India, where every 100 kilometer or 150 kilometers, you have a different dialects, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, when you have different dialects, there's so many languages. Now, what happens if there are 100 people, 100 customers asking in a same intent about the same product, right? So what we do is we don't send those 100 intents to OpenAI. This will allow us to reduce the cost of using ChatGPT. At the same time, what we do is we cache those intents uniquely, right? So 100 inquiries about the same product becomes one cached mechanism. Now, what happens when we started doing this? We realized that if those 100 visitors are talking or if they are typing in their different languages, they have different personas, they have their different preferences, right? All those user attributes we can add it to the same cache so that next time our platform engages with them, our platform will understand, okay, you type in Hindi, you type in Bengali, I will respond it to you in Bengali, right? So,
Yeah. So
those type of hyper
you're
personalization we achieve.
developing a bit of a cache of responses that's based on previous activity.
Yes. Yeah, so we do caching, but along with caching, we are coupling user attributes. So this is the innovation.
Personalized caching almost.
Yes.
And what is ChatGPT now capable of handling all the Indian languages to the extent that you want it to provide something like this value?
Yeah. So we support almost like 90 plus languages, but for other Indian dialects which ChatGPT doesn't understand, we have a third party tools.
Yeah, but
So we
I
have
think
tied up
it's
with
not
them.
necessary. As long as you have the big languages covered, I think you have enough of a business to get going with.
Yes.
So
if you see our ROI,
all this in terms of your, okay, well, why don't you go ahead and present it? There's some questions that I want to ask you to really get to the heart of it and be able to help you. So go ahead and cover what you want to cover, but.
Okay, let me complete this quickly. So these are all the numbers that our customer has seen using our platforms. So their revenue has jumped, more conversions, more engagement, abandoned carts has been drastically reduced because they are all on WhatsApp and chat where we track the cross channel. If you select a product on a web and you come on a WhatsApp, we understand you. And once you do that, now I have your mobile number. So you can track me, you can call me, you can harass me. And that's what you drive the sales, right? So someone from my CRM team will reach out to me and they will push to make a purchase. So these are all the numbers that we have achieved. Yeah, we can go to the next screen. So this is the whole, we are talking about almost like 300 billion kind of a chatbot conversational market itself, right? Which is growing at rapid scale. Almost like 9 billion only conversational commerce platform with 64 billion chatbot market. So believe me, there are 30 million online stores and only 1% of them have started using engagement platform like chatbots. So the scope is very big. Yeah, next.
So before you move on from this slides, I want to tell you, Santosh, in the kind of work that you're trying to do, you need to develop a bottom-up TAM analysis. This is called the top-down TAM analysis, and that will not suffice. You're going to need to develop a bottom-up TAM analysis. But let's go to pricing.
Yeah. So we have two mode of our pricing model. So one is basically a fixed tiered subscription model. It starts with basic $99 per month, goes up to $1,000 per month. And what we do is like, if you are using a WhatsApp as a channel, and every sales that happen on WhatsApp, we charge 0.5% of the revenue generated on those channels. So these are all our models.
Now, you keep bringing up WhatsApp. What is the significance of WhatsApp?
So in countries like India, WhatsApp is almost like 90% of Indian use WhatsApp. And
So
WhatsApp,
the voice communication that you need to address, it needs to happen over WhatsApp. Your chatbot needs to talk in voice with a WhatsApp user. Is that what you're saying?
it can do voice from WhatsApp as well, from Web SDK as well, both. And WhatsApp still, if you are not well versed with voice, you can still type, because we don't have to educate a consumer base who are used to WhatsApp type of usage, right?
Okay.
And almost an average Indian spends 2 to 3 hours on WhatsApp. So they
Right.
and
It's a very active platform. So now one other question. You say you're taking a percentage of the converted revenue. That's your business model.
Yes.
So starter is $99 a month subscription. The transaction fee is on top of that.
Yes. $99 is for using our platform with a tiered subscription. So in $99, you get 500,000 tokens for your AI. $599 if you take, it will give you 1 million tokens per month, and $1,000 will give you 2 million tokens per month. If you exhaust these tokens, you can top up on actuals. So we are not going to charge premium on activating those additional tokens. As well as we provide a fixed number of WhatsApp messages, because WhatsApp message itself is also cost, right? It starts promotional messages. There is a cost for that. The meta charges.
I was about to ask you about gross margin, because there is quite a few cost of goods items here. One is WhatsApp message charges. Two is OpenAI charges, right? So ChatGPT charges. So how does you model the gross margin of this?
Yes. So in $99, almost like $40 worth credits we are giving back to the brand. If you take $599, so we give almost like 220, 230 US dollars for credit. But next time you top it up, we have given an option for them. It's a pro rata basis. How many, say, they want additional 1 million tokens, they can top it up. But we have seen on an average with 5,000 engagements per day, one of our brand is comfortably using $99 plan without any issue. So their tokens of 500,000 tokens are still there with 5,000 engagements per day.
Okay.
So that means we are significantly saving on using the caching technology and all that.
So you're going to have to quantify this, from a profit and loss statement point of view, whatever is the P&L that you are going after, whatever is the unit economics of your business, you're going to have to quantify all this. Not just say that people are using and this is their behavior, but you have to understand the arithmetic of this, the mathematics of this.
Yes. So for your information, like we have launched this product in the month of June this year. In last 2.5 months, we have done 25 plus demos. We are onboarding 20 brands, 6 brands already live, 2 brands already paying.
Fantastic.
So this is the funnel I'm talking about. Our GTM strategy is pretty simple. So we take part in conclaves and business meetups and events wherever we can participate and showcase our talk about our product and benefits other brands are reaping using our platform. We are right now giving some 14 days of free trial, deep discounted offer. We have started actively doing now digital marketing and social media presence to at least get onto indexed page and all SEO type of thing. Plus, since we are coming from a consulting background, helping some of the D2C brands and tech companies evolve with respect to the tech and scale, right? So we still do some of these activity and help them achieve more top line using some of the platforms like ULAI. So that's how we are reaching out and doing at this scale. So 2.5 months into the business. So as per our expectation and plan, it is going smooth.
Is there any particular kind of e-commerce companies that you're going after?
So we started reaching out to some of the it's all lower SMB type of D2C brand that we have reached out yet till, uh, and it is deliberate because we don't want to touch or reach enterprise customer as of now because we wanted to test our bed.
Sure.
We want to strengthen our offering, all the APIs, security aspect, compliances, everything has to be in place so that when we reach out to an enterprise customer, we have a volume. Our tech capability continues to support them at that scale. So that is the reason we are right now targeted only those lower SMB D2C brands who are right now affording to pay at least $1,000 or less than that on their monthly spend on Meta and Insta and Google ads, right? So those type of people we have targeted. So 25 plus demos we have done so far.
And these are in fashion and
So
beauty and
so
those kinds of products.
industry specific, we have in fashion, we have food and snacking business, we have in electronics business, we have one customer who is in basically BPC, beauty and personal care segment. So yeah, you can see this. Evlogia is eco-friendly product.
Very good. It's excellent. What I'm hearing is excellent. What you're doing is excellent. What brings you here? What are you looking for? Where do you need help?
So yeah, so we need to go multi-geography, obviously. So North American market, Canada market is the biggest market in terms of reach, in terms of size, in terms of revenue, right?
Huge,
and
huge
we need to be there. Yes, yeah, huge market. We are still maybe 6% of US market, right, with respect to the numbers and revenue and all that matters. Right?
I don't see any problems taking this product global. I can advise you on exactly how to do it. This is very doable.
Yeah, that is the help actually needed. So what happens is I reached out to some of my friends who are in Silicon Valley, in California, and SFOs places. They referred and shared your LinkedIn details, and that's how I connected.
All right, very good. Well, I think what you're doing is excellent. I really think it's very high potential. If you want to build a venture funded company with this, most likely we would be able to figure out the velocity elements of this as well. So it's a very high potential idea, and you're executing very well. So congratulations on that. You're doing a very disciplined execution, which I like very much. So so I will explain how to use 1M by 1M in a little bit. Let me first work with others, and we have to figure out a little bit of the logistics here. But I think this is an excellent presentation.
Yeah.
Okay, Maureen, I need guidance. I see Venk in the room, not in the room, in the room, not in the room. So what should I do? Should I start with Rani or Satyajit, or should I switch to Venk?
I'm here. Very confusing.
Hi, Venk.
Hi.
What was the problem? You had difficulty logging in?
Well, I didn't know I was joining an existing webinar, so I would come here, I would join, then I say, yeah, maybe I'm at the wrong place, so I would leave.
That's because you were late.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we got started with the first presenter. We'll go back to your discussion now. So folks, we were planning to start with this segment, but we'll switch back now that Venk is here. Venk is a very experienced investor in Silicon Valley, and we're going to discuss his thoughts on what's happening in the AI universe, the trends, and how he is thinking about investing in AI, and where is the market going? Where is the startup market going? Where is what the different trends are that inform our decisions as entrepreneurs and investors to work in this field. Welcome, Venk. It's great to have you.
Thanks, Ramana.
So, Venk, what are you thinking about as you look at the AI universe, how are you parsing all the different developments? It's all coming at us very fast, obviously. So what are your thoughts?
It's interesting you say it's coming very fast. In fact, when it comes to generative AI, uh, it's not very fast. In fact, you see, after Chat GPT came out, you see, in November of what, 2022,
Yeah.
uh, the I had expected, you see, the pace of innovation to be a lot higher, and we are still stuck, you see, in the same sort of uh, underlying technology constraint, you see, that transformer architecture uses, which
Yeah.
is probabilistic, which means full of hallucination.
Yes.
And I had expected that by this time, there would be some breakthrough that would take us away from hallucination, and that's what limits its use in enterprise. In enterprise, you see, you cannot have probabilistic answers or wrong answers. You have to get it right. I mean, there are some enterprise applications where hallucination or probabilistic answers are okay, which is, like natural language. If you're using it as a natural language front end, then it doesn't matter to see if the words are used are different or the expression is different, and if you don't get the semantics exactly right, that context is okay. But if you are saying that which sales guy see exceeded the forecast you see in the last 2 quarters, you cannot have hallucination there.
Yeah. So
So
hallucination remains a big roadblock for sure. And in some of the, we've done probably 15 such conversations already with the investors and discussed some what's happening in their portfolios. One theme that is coming up is the theme of small language models to constrain hallucinations. So, in many of the vertical AI solutions, you don't really need the full power of the large language model. It's good to have the large language model capabilities to be able to tackle natural language, but when it comes to domain specific training, that's a relatively small domain specific knowledge that would be relevant for a particular vertical, a particular customer, and that may be sufficient, and that may be a very good way to contain hallucination. Of course, there are architecture issues. Is this something that is coming up in your portfolio or in your conversations?
yeah. I mean, I think uh, we have some deep technologists you see on our team. These are the guys that he used to probably get millions of dollars of salaries you see at Google, and two of those guys are you see on our team. So we get pretty deep into technology when companies present to us.
Yeah.
And it's pretty obvious that even the small language model thing, so long as the underlying architecture is the same transformer architecture, the hallucination issue doesn't entirely go away. I think the only way to get over it is to have a human in the loop, and otherwise it really does not go away. And the benefit of having a small language model really is the cost of training and cost of inference. You see, goes down, you see, a lot, but it doesn't get around the hallucination issue.
So you're saying small language models you're also seeing small language models hallucinating.
Uh,
Interesting.
has to. I mean, it is the same transformer architecture which is based on probability.
The human in the loop theme is also coming up a lot in our discussions, and some people are trying to get around the problem by putting a human in the loop. And in some cases, it may work, but if you're really working with very big data, can human in the loop solve the hallucination problem?
Well, it's better than not having a human in the loop, right? I mean, because you don't know if it's hallucinating or not. So if you have a huge data set and you are saying that, okay, I have 100 sales guys all over the world, and I just want to know which one has given is better than quota performance in the last 2 quarters. So if it comes up with a name, some human can immediately verify if this particular individual did indeed, you see, exceed the quota in the last 2 months. That's how, you see, you verify.
Understood. But now let's switch that to a different case study. Let's look at the medical domain, which is very high potential, right, for generative AI. There's so much medical information on which you can train physicians, telemedicine providers, etc. But if that starts to hallucinate, is the human in the loop completely capable of catching that?
Well, I think that's actually a very, very good case, you see, of using, generative AI because ultimately it's the doctor who's going to make a judgment, who write a prescription, you see, and do the diagnosis. He will use this as a way, you see, to help
Right?
him or her. So that's an excellent, case study of a human in the loop, because all that you are doing is doing all the grunt work for him, looking at all the test reports to see all the latest research, all the studies that are going on, and based on that, it says, given these symptoms, given these lab tests, given all the state of the art in this thing, chances are that this is this, or is he one of these two? And then the physician is he can exercise his or her judgment. That's a very, very good case study, you see, of how generative AI could be useful, you see, in the healthcare industry.
I completely agree with you. The question that I'm still skeptical about is if there is that much data that it's processing and bringing something to the doctor, in that moment, the doctor has to make a judgment call. And we are assuming then the doctor has more knowledge than the generative AI, and that is not true
No,
for the
he'll
most
never
part.
have he'll never have more
You'll never
knowledge.
have more knowledge than generative AI.
Never have more knowledge than generative AI, because the amount of data that's being processed and the speed with which is being processed, a human cannot deal with it. But based on the data, based on all these things, if it comes up with something that the training, the doctor says that it makes no sense to me. The diagnosis
Yeah,
is
if it's
absolutely
obvious, then it's
innocent.
fine. Maybe first degree, second degree, it's fine. But at the
Yeah,
moment
yeah.
it gets to complexity, I think it's medicine actually is a dangerous place where I don't think this problem is managed yet.
But I think that's actually a very good place to use generative
A
AI,
great place
because
to use it. It is the place where it should use. At the same time, the hallucination problem has to be contained there.
right,
You
but because
cannot let AI hallucinate in medicine.
yeah, but then you have a human in the loop. You have an expert in
You
the
do
loop.
have a human in the loop, but the human is not equipped to catch. That's my issue.
Yeah. But he's applying some judgment. He's
Partial,
applying
partial.
some judgment based on his years and years of study and expertise. So I think that's a much better use case than an enterprise one, where
So where are you investing, Venk? What have you invested in generative AI companies?
you know.
What has passed the smell test of where you can get around the problems and actually can go to market with something interesting and maybe with a human in the loop? A lot of investors we've talked to are only investing in human in the loop companies.
Yeah. So we have actually, interestingly, we invested in a generative AI company before that expression entered popular culture. So we invested in company in October of 2022, a month before ChatGPT came out.
Mhm.
And it's a team from NVIDIA, and they are using uh, generative AI to essentially make digital humans, a 3D digital humans
Mhm.
that can essentially interact, you see, with the person on the other side, and and perform functions or answer questions, or guide them in terms of, see, what they need to do. So initially we thought that the application would be in gaming. In fact, Jensen Huang, in his keynote, uh, highlighted the demo of this startup for 5 minutes in his famous keynote, which was watched by 7 million people.
Uh-huh.
So, so we thought, and that was a gaming application where someone walks, today in gaming, for every character's action, reaction, emotions, everything has to be pre-programmed, which is, which you cannot take care of, anticipate all situations and program for everything. That's why some of those things you see are very tightly constrained. So this thing allows that you don't need to pre-program anything. And based on a backstory of the character, if you say that this guy is like Rocky Sylvester Stallone, then if you say how you feeling, is not likely to give a stream of consciousness. You see, a long answer, he will just say, yeah, or get out of here, or something like that, right? So those kind of things, you don't have to be pre-programmed. And so we thought the application would be in the gaming, and we have been surprised how it is finding use in enterprise applications. So Unilever, you see, has probably across its thing has about 20, 30 brands of shampoos. If someone wants to know which shampoo to use, uh, so then this character interacts you see, with the person in a way as if it's really a human talking to another human
Yeah.
and finding out this thing and then say, okay, it's this. Or NASA is using it to train, astronauts for a life on Mars. And so these are the kind of use cases that we had not thought of. But the digital human, where you are interacting, you see, with someone on the other side, and it has human-like, language capabilities, human-like intonations, a human-like movement, and knows everything that is to be known on that subject.
But it's not built on generative AI. It's built on
It
your own.
is no, it is generative. It's a classic case of generative AI.
So then how are you dealing with hallucination in that context?
Their hallucination really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter uh, because if you're talking about shampoos and there are 35 shampoos and say, okay, tell me, do you have a dry hair or not? And he says, yes, I do. So based on that, it goes on a different path. So hallucination there does not matter because it does not depend on extracting uh, a data or a piece of information or making a recommendation that could go horribly wrong.
Mm. Okay, but in the Mars case study, it could go horribly wrong, no?
Well, I think there it is, essentially, I've not seen that. I've just seen a quick demo of it, but I've not really uh, gotten into in any depth. But I think the Mars thing is about how do you deal with the environment. So if you see this, how do you react to it? If you see, if you have this kind of weather, how do you react to it? That's the kind of a use that it is being put to.
Okay, so it's non-mission critical use cases are good for is one thing you're saying, because this is not a human in the loop example. You have taken the human out of the loop, and that is the benefit of it.
Exactly. So in this case, where it's not catastrophic,
Right.
if it makes a decision, it's not a catastrophic disaster.
Yeah.
Uh, but the medical example we discussed
It's
would be
catastrophic.
right, and that's why you need to have that physician in the loop.
Yeah, right. Okay. Any other portfolio companies that you would like to discuss where we can see some of these? I mean, what you provided is a good framework, right? Generative AI hallucination is acceptable without human in the loop if it's non-mission critical. If it is mission critical, we need human in the loop. But even with human in the loop, it's not, human in the loop is necessary but not sufficient to control hallucination, especially in a case, in a situation like medical. It really can be dangerous.
Yeah.
So those are good heuristics. Is there another case study that we can do?
Well, I think the interesting thing is that after we made that investment and after ChatGPT came, you must have seen at least 100 companies claiming to be using generative AI, at least 100. And the entire last year, we did not invest in a single generative AI company because most of the ones that we saw were really some wrappers, thin wrappers on top of ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't think that there was a fundamental sustainable differentiation over a long, long period of time. So, so quite interestingly enough, last year we did not invest in a single generative AI company. We invested in AI companies,
Yeah.
but not in a generative AI companies. And now we are getting ready to actually invest in two companies. One is in the medical space, and one is in the sales marketing space.
And you're not yet interested in discussing those two that you're about to invest in?
No, we could talk about it. I think one
Okay.
of them is
I would
one of
love to
them.
know about what passed the um, due diligence.
Yeah. So one one company is essentially trying to come up with a next generation uh, of electronic health records. Uh,
Okay.
Today, with in all large practices use something called Epic or Cerner.
Yes.
And those, I mean, I think if you talk to any doctor, the number one frustration that a doctor or a nurse has is number of clicks they have to make, and they are so idiotic, and amount of time they have to spend entering data.
Yeah. Old architecture, clunky user interface,
And
very,
so,
very old systems.
so this is where generative AI comes in. So if someone is coming to you, if you're dealing with a patient, you have the entire history of that patient you see with you, and you have the test to see that has been done on that patient. You know that it's a 18-year-old male with this kind of a thing. Now the number of choices you have, you don't present say 20 boxes where the doctor has to choose one of those boxes to tick. Now you know that it's an 18-year-old and he has this history. Now you present, you see, only two choices to the doctor. So
Mm-hmm.
he can click on one of those two, and that takes him to a completely different path. And if it takes him to the path where he doesn't have to make another 20 clicks, you see, to get to the point, to write to write a prescription, he doesn't have to do 14 clicks.
Mm.
Uh, so that's the so for instance, if it's a 18-year-old, you see, with a particular history of some disease, and the test is to confirm that, then all that here the AI has to do is, given this context, given this thing, here are the choices, and the doctor picks one of those. Here are the things to prescribe, and he picks one of them, and then it's gone.
Have they
That's
been able to move Epic out of medical systems?
I think Epic is the 800-pound gorilla,
Yeah.
and the large systems, if you don't make changes is easily
Huge exit barrier.
huge exit. So they will have to follow what Salesforce did when it started. It went to small and medium-sized businesses.
Yeah.
When I was at Magma, we were almost the first customer of Salesforce, and at that time, Magma was, I think, about 20 million revenue company.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we were one of the first users of Salesforce. And once it accumulated enough of these customers, then it had to accommodate them. It had to add more and more features and this and this. So over time, it was able to migrate to enterprise customers because it had built all the features that anyone could ever demand.
Yeah.
So this will go through the same kind of a path.
Okay. And what is the other one?
The other one is we have not finished with the diligence there. It's in the sales and marketing phase, where it enhances the efficacy of BDRs. BDRs typically write tons of emails every day
Yeah.
to customers, and they try to customize it as much as they can. This one takes as much information as it can from public records, you see, and the company records, to essentially suggest, you see, a draft.
So
And
it's a BDR writing assistant, business development rep writing assistant.
right. And there it doesn't need to be a human in the loop because nothing is catastrophic. If you're sending 100 of those emails, even if 2, 3, or 4, or 5 of those are wrong, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. Good. Very good. What other AI companies have you invested in that are non-generative AI? But let's do a last example before we move back to the entrepreneur pitch session.
Okay.
Let's talk about, because I've on our platform, we've been covering AI startups actually aggressively since 2016, and it was long before generative AI hit the popular consciousness, and there are very substantial AI companies that have been built with AI, not necessarily generative AI. So I do believe that there is a huge opportunity still in AI, not just generative AI.
Yeah. So we invested in one company that is enabling medium-sized businesses to have fully functional supply chain systems. Today, supply chain is so complicated that only the large enterprises really have a good system for that, because it needs the access to you need to have inventory management systems, you need to have access to financials, you need to have this and this in order for you to do a good supply chain. So medium-sized businesses that don't already have installation of all these complex tools, it's enabling using AI to build their own supply chain systems, to essentially to predict. So it's for demand forecasting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Based on the demand forecasting, figuring out, say, inventory management, figuring out, say, how long it takes to deliver something to point A, how much inventory they should have in a warehouse, which warehouse, and all of those kind of things. And they're using AI for that. They're using AI to detect demand signals.
Okay.
And this is something that by using AI for demand signals, uh, they are getting around the need to have massive, installations of, let's say, SAP in the company, where it looks at all the different things to figure out to see the demand signals. Here it is using AI for doing precisely that.
So this is competing with SAP.
This is competing, you see, with supply chain solutions that are built on top of SAP, or require a presence of SAP before they can be useful.
I see. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Okay, Venk, is there anything else that you would like to discuss apropos AI investment strategy, investment thesis? We will continue the conversation. We'll bring you back a few months, maybe in a year or so, to exchange notes. But for this conversation, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think these are pretty exciting times, and and we are far away from artificial general intelligence.
Oh,
We
yeah.
are
And
far,
it's not even relevant, right? Who cares?
yeah,
Artificial
yeah.
general intelligence is not important to solve most of the enterprise use cases. So we don't
I'll,
need to worry about it right now.
I'll tell you, talking about enterprise, I had a very insightful conversation with a CIO of a big company, and I asked him about, what kind of use cases are you, what kind of thing you're implementing AI on, and he was very blunt. He said, "Don't bring any AI to me. We bring only that AI to me that eliminates white collar jobs."
Mm.
Is it?
It's a very interesting point, actually, that, early, before AI really became big in the popular consciousness, the fear was it's the blue collar jobs that are going to be automated by AI. But where we are seeing the AI uptick is actually in white collar jobs.
Well, generative AI is enabling that, and you see that in customer center, uh, those situations where a lot of low-level interaction is getting automated.
Yeah. And you just missed Santosh's presentation, which was an excellent generative AI customer service application presentation. It was really, really interesting. But in software development, one of the real discussions that we're having everywhere right now is how much of software development can be automated, how much of enhancement of junior software developers can happen because of AI, because there is human in the loop. Then if you equip that human with lots of great tools, this can, AI can make software engineers incredibly productive. And as a result, you will need a lot fewer of them. So
Yeah,
there's
generation of test cases to for your thing. That's a very
testing
popular
should be
use cases.
completely automated. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Well,
Great.
thank you, Venk. Thank you. Very insightful conversation. We will circle back.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, who is going to go next? Is it Rani or Satyajit? Maureen, could you give me a?
It is Rani.
It is Rani. All right. Let me go to your slides, Rani. There we go. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Sarmana, for the great opportunity. And thank you, Venk, for your AI insights. I belong to a D2C brand and I have no clue what's going in AI industry. But it was very fascinating hearing you guys. And it was very thrilling. So just to begin with, let me just introduce myself. My full name is Rani Komal Jain. I belong to Delhi. I have done my graduation in jewelry design and metal smithing from Pearl Academy of Fashion. And then I did my diamond grading for Gemological Institute of America. And then eventually I landed up in jewelry industry where I always wanted to design, manufacture gold jewelry. Eventually, I worked in that industry for 5 years in a startup. And then I got married in Delhi. After that, I realized that the market is demanding more of imitation jewelry, which you call artificial jewelry. And the market is not segmented to only gold and diamond look jewelry. So this is how I started Smars. Ma'am, we can move to next slide. So the problems which I see in the industry is the industry has a lot of players in imitation jewelry, but then the problems which I see is there's a lack of quality and durability. The designs are used, the designs used is very monotonous, and it is extremely unorganized market. I am talking about the Indian industry because we do not see a lot of brands coming in for imitation jewelry, and people have no trust, and that's why people are landing up buying jewelry based with copper or jewelry made in lead or nickel, which is really harmful for the skin and can lead to some extreme diseases like cancer. Ma'am, we can move to next slide. So what problem Smurs is solving here? Smurs comes in with the super quality and durability of the product which we design. We mainly design all our jewelry in pure brass with 1 micron gold plating, and we give a warranty of 1 year where we want our customer to really have a hands-on on their products because they have given us money. We just do not want them to use once or twice and it should be just fade off. We really concentrate on trend designs. Every month we come up with more than 100 designs, and we really are keen taking care of trends going in the market. And as I already mentioned that we do jewelry in pure brass, which is the intricacy of the product. This is how the market looks like. Why we do this, I have already explained it. Whom we are targeting to, the customer we are targeting to is of age 30 plus. They are majorly married or working women. Why they choose us? Because of affordability, designs, and durability and the quality. How are we going to grow our business? Right now, we are a D2C brand focusing on our own websites and some marketplaces. But eventually, we want to get into international market, kiosk, and retail. And we can move to next slide. This is how the model looks like. This is the unit economics of the business. we have a 70 to 80% gross margin, and right now we are doing 3% net profit, which is of last financial year. This year we will be having a net profit of 8 to 10%, which I will explain later why is it happening again this
What
way.
is, how many units have you sold so far?
So we have sold more than 30,000.
30,000, very good.
Yes.
And the price point is 1,800 rupees?
Yes.
Okay. And from your own website, everything you're doing is from your own website.
Yes.
And how are people finding you? How
So
are
we
people
are
finding the website?
really concentrating on performance marketing and Google Ads, and we have been doing Google SEOs and blogging. From there also the customer ends up meeting, and majorly we are concentrating on performance, which is meta ads.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So we started this business in 2022 December. Since then, this year we closed 6.5 crores in 2.5 years' time. This year we are aiming of an ARR of 8 to 10 crores. We have already crossed 4 crores this financial year in last 6 months.
Very good. Excellent. And it's
Thank you.
bootstrapped? How did you fund the company?
It is completely a bootstrap company. I have put in almost 50 lakhs rupees in the business, and we have some few ODs from the bank. So basically we have 60-70 lakhs in the business, and we have done we are in the process of doing ARR of 8 to 10 crores, and where we'll be doing a 8 to 10% of net profit this year.
Okay. And these 30,000 units that you've sold are to, is it 30,000 customers or 30,000 units? You said 30,000.
It is 30,000 custom units, not customers. This is for last year. Till date, we have sold 30,000.
So how many customers are they repeat buying is my question there.
Yes, we have a repeat rate of 20%.
So how many customers total? You have about what, 6,000 customers?
In a month, we have 6,000 customers right now. But as an average from where we have started till date, we have more than 40,000 customers.
That doesn't compute. If you have 30,000, so 30,000, oh, I see, 40,000 customers for the last 2 years, 3 years, whatever, but
Yes. Yes.
30,000 units for just last year.
Yes.
I see, okay. All right. So tell me, where do you need help?
So actually, as a bootstrap company, what I feel that we were able to do 10 crores easily.
Great. Congratulations. Excellent job.
Thank you so much. But where I find the lack is that we're not what I feel that we'll be needing more fund to grow the business, because we really want to occupy ourselves in more designs,
Yeah.
more products, because adding up more products to the business.
There are ways to fund this business.
Yes, so actually we just started with the investment.
Non-venture capital, there are ways to fund this business. You have reached a point where you can raise outside financing for this business.
Yes, so we have just started, I think we'll be just starting the investor meet next week.
Okay,
so we have
so you're here to raise money is what you're saying.
Yeah, we are here to raise money, and we want to, as I said already, that with the 50 lakhs of working capital, we did this kind of business. So we are expecting to raise 6 crores in the first run, and we will be doing around 70 to 80 crores next year if we get this fund.
Okay, all right. This is doable, I think.
And because I have been in this industry since very long, because I have studied jewelry, and then
you understand jewelry. That's good. Having that kind of domain knowledge is very valuable in building a business. So hold on, let me work with Satyajit, and then I will tell you, I will explain to you how to use 1 million by 1 million. You have to be in the premium program for us to help you raise money, but it can be done for sure.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Satyajit, you're up next. Please unmute your line. Excellent.
Thank you, Sarvana.
Rani, Santosh, excellent presentations. Go ahead, Satyajit.
Yeah, thank you, Sarvana, for giving this opportunity. Now, basically, I'm working in a commodity health food segment that is called Makhana. We are working with this segment from the last 20 years. Basically, this crop is originally from US, but through bud dispersal, it came to India long back 200 years ago.
Okay.
And from there, it's attached to the religious function and all that. And now from the last 20 years, we have developed this and popularized this product as a health food segment at par with the other nuts like almond, cashew, walnut, pistachio, this type of things.
So it's a nut. Makhana is a nut?
Yeah, makhana is a nut, is
Okay.
a healthy nut. So basically, in India, you see that this is the only nut other than cashew, which is in the healthy nut segment. But
Okay.
due to the salt production, because last 20 years back, it was only 500 tons to 1,000 tons production per annum. Bihar is a state where 90% of the crop is produced in this state of 8 districts. So this is the monopoly by the India or by the state like Bihar. So what we developed, we have worked from the last 20 years to strengthen the supply chain, increase the production base so that we can put this crop in a global format.
Okay.
Next slide. Next slide. So why we are using nut. Basically, people are using nut for their lifestyle issues, lifestyle problems. And every nut, whether it's walnut, almonds, they are directed to the lifestyle issues like obesity, diabetes, heart disease, other issue, BP, and other things. Next slide. So what is our value proposition? We are looking for those markets who are already using the nut. Around the world, there is a very big nut market. So we are targeting those markets where, suppose we are also exporting to US, UK, and Middle East countries, and there they are getting popular in those countries because the people have choices of a new nut also. Plus, this nut has capacity like it's non-allergen, non-GMO, gluten-free. So these are the catchword of the healthy nut segment around the world. Next slide. This is the total nut market across the world. If you see, then the total nut market is 115 lakh tons, where the almonds and cashews and walnuts and pistachios are dominating throughout the world. It's a very huge market. Compared to that, makhana production is now only 25,000 tons. And we are expecting to, because it's growing, we are expecting that in the next 10 years, it will go up to 2.5 lakh tons. Presently, we are catering 12,000 farmers in the supply chain, and we are linking their produce to the market.
Okay.
So if you see the total market of nuts, it's a very huge market. India importing across 10.5 lakh ton per annum nuts like almond, cashew, walnut, and pistachio. So it's a huge healthy nut market. Next slide, please. Makhana, this is an emerging superfood. This is because it's a high potassium, amino acid index is very high. It's a very popular food, protein level. It's a balanced diet food. The other nuts are facing the problems are if you consume more, then it will be not suitable for your body and other things. And it's allergen also in the US context and other things. But compared to that, it's a very healthy Ayurvedic nut. So in India and across the world, it's getting very popular from the last 10 years. In India, lots of company, we are supporting them like Dharampal, Satyapal, Haldiram, Mr. Makhana, and there are lots of company who are making snack food out of this to popularize this in the market. Next slide. So this is the Makhana total addressable market. Today, the production is 25,000 ton, which is the market value is 4,000 crore per annum. And the production growth is growing 25% per annum, which we are doing at the back end. We are being supported by Government of India, World Bank, Rural Livelihood Project, NABARD, NAFED, lots of government bodies are supporting us for the production side. An expected crop, we are looking for 2.5 lakh ton in the next 10 years, which is a good quantity for the world market and other markets. Next slide, please. Our business model is that we are engaging the makhana growers and seed processor directly to the project. And we are innovating the new product in makhana. You know, you have in US, you have the blue diamond almond. That is the grower and the front-end value-added products model also. So we are more or less working on the similar model in India also, like Amul, Blue Almonds, and California Almonds, these type of things. Next model. Next slide.
I don't understand what is the business model. It's not clear what is the business model. Are you trying to do a marketplace? Are you going to do, you know, consumer products that you would sell in a D2C model? What I understand the makhana focus, but what kind of
that I will explain in next slide.
Okay, got it.
This is the model where we are targeting branded online D2C, online D2C business customer, national and international.
Okay.
And on second stage, we are business B2B global ingredient company. Suppose we this is a very huge export market and huge B2B market in India and at global level also. And the second things we are targeting is the online D2C customer.
So is this something that you intend to start, or are you already doing?
No, we have already test marketed this with Amazon, and the B2B ingredient market already we are doing. We are we have already connected approx 20,000 tons of makhana from farmer to this company from the last 5 years. So it's a huge connectivity which we are providing to all the B2B company and D2C company also.
So,
but the catchword, the problem.
This is where I'm getting confused. Is this a marketplace? Are you doing a two-sided marketplace?
No, this we are doing through D2C and B2B marketplaces only, because the buyers are coming to us through reference. We are not advertising anything. At present, we are.
I think there's a gap, Satyajit, in the terminology that your world uses and the terminology of the tech online business world. Either you're in e-commerce, and e-commerce could be D2C, it could be B2B. There are various kinds of e-commerce, or it could be a two-sided marketplace e-commerce. Which one of this, or it sounds to me, and I'm not completely sure that I understood you, it sounds like you want to do a D2C e-commerce business and a two-sided marketplace business that's a B2B e-commerce business. Is that correct?
B2B is the marketplace where we are providing the connection to farmers and the buyers.
You're already doing that. You have a marketplace already.
Yeah.
And what is the gross merchandise value of that marketplace? How much are you doing in that marketplace?
That is approx 500 crore in the last 4 years.
And what do you take as commissions, marketplace commissions?
No, at present we are not taking any commission.
So this is a charity?
No, what we were doing, we are trying to develop a model with the farmers and the buyers. Now from January onwards, we are taking commission on 3 fronts. One, on the revenue basis, second on the logistic issue, and third on the service issue. So we are going to start that B2B marketplace, because you know we are supported by the government funds till now. So we are dedicated to support the farmer. Once the level has been created of 15,000 tons, 20,000 tons, now we are going to commercialize in a business model.
I see. Okay, now tell me, now I think I have a sense of what you're trying to do. Can you tell me what brings you here? How can we help you? What are you looking for?
Basically, we are looking for some fund who are interested in AgTech funds, who are interested in the investment. And the second is the creating global supply chain. The two things are important. Second thing is creating global supply chain, because we are based in Bihar, in Patna. Our work is dedicated in the backend integration of farmer, bringing 12,000 to 25,000 farmers and all work we are doing. So we are looking some strategic partner who can support us in the investment and also in the supply chain, creating global marketplace also.
So 1 million by 1 million is a technology and technology-enabled services business accelerator. We're not a strategic partner. We don't do supply chains and things like that. That I cannot help you with. If
in
you want
technology
to,
part,
no, we
supply
don't do technology.
how you, through technology, how can you help this project?
We help tech companies build businesses. Tech and tech-enabled services companies build businesses.
Okay.
And that involves teaching them how to build businesses through our curriculum, through online mentoring. And we do, when you're ready, you're not ready. I can tell you, you're not ready to go to investors yet, but I can advise you, we can coach you on how to get to investors and what you need to get to investors. The minute you tell an investor that I want to build a D2C company and I want to build a B2B marketplace, they will not want to talk to you anymore. You have to pick one. Investors want to see a very focused, crisp execution strategy. So what interests me in what my gut says, that in this case, you should forget about D2C and you should focus on figuring out how to build a two-sided marketplace using what you have described so far, where you have built up some experience, some assets, and I can coach you on how to build that business. There is a business there, clearly. The numbers that you have quoted, there is a market there. So creating that two-sided marketplace and building a business out of that I can teach you how to do.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right. So now I'm going to spend a few minutes explaining to all three of you how to use 1 million by 1 million, and anybody else who's in the room who's listening, interested in working with us in building a business, let me explain to you how we work. First and foremost, we are completely virtual, so we can work with you from anywhere in the world, as long as you're willing to work in this mode. What you just saw is the mode in which all the coaching is going to happen. All the mentoring is going to happen. So you go to 1mby1m.com and you look at the website, you spend some time in the website, and it clearly explains what are your options. Our full acceleration program that includes mentoring, that includes the curriculum, that includes investor introductions, and it includes what we call investor marketing, which is when you are trying to sell, especially B2B on LinkedIn, we have tremendous influence, and we can teach you how to use that influence in leveraging your marketing channels. So that's part of 1M by 1M Premium, and that is a $1,000 annual membership fee program. All three of you, given your situations, if you want to continue to work with me further on your businesses, would need to join 1M by 1M Premium, and I will work with you to take you to the next levels of your business. And that's one way to work together. Anybody else who's listening, when I don't know your situation, this is one of the options. Another option, which a lot of people right now are kind of trying to learn how to start building a business. And they still have jobs. Many of them still have jobs, and they're just kind of thinking about starting something, but they don't really know what entrepreneurship is. For them, one of the easy options is 1M by 1M Basic. It's only $99 a month, but you can start learning how to put one foot before the other. The curriculum is organized as core and elective. The core curriculum is bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer acquisition, financing, team building. These are the modules that you will learn, and it will teach you validation. It will teach you how to think about a startup, how to ideate, how to validate, etc. And then in the electives, we have domain-specific topics. So whether you're doing an e-commerce business or a cloud computing business, AI business, online education business, two-sided marketplace business, each of those are covered in separate elective modules, but you have access to everything as part of 1M by 1M Basic. So depending on what your situation, please go to the website, look up Basic, Premium, and decide what is comfortable for you to start learning through 1M by 1M. Now, we have had requests from some people who want to work in complete privacy. Now, 1M by 1M Basic does not have mentoring, but in 1M by 1M Premium, we have mentoring, and you can get 1 year worth of mentoring through the premium program, but it is in this roundtable format. It is for our members only, but it is a roundtable format. It is not just private one-on-one. So if you want private one-on-one, we have that. It is more expensive. It is the one-on-one consulting option. You can find out more about that on the website. So those are the options of how you can work with us. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to take them. We have free roundtables every week on Thursdays in October, so 4 more coming up. If you have questions about the program and if you want to talk to someone, Irina Patterson is your contact, irina@1m1m.com. She can also talk to you on phone, WhatsApp, whatever, Skype, 786-301-2456. Text her and she will, coordinate a time to talk. So now, if anybody else has any further questions, I will be happy to take them.
Mana, the mentorship that you're talking about in the premium, where it's costing $1,000 a year. So, what is the duration here? Is there any fixed duration? Sorry, I have not gone through the website where it says $1,000 per year, but yeah, just wanted to check with them.
So it happens every week, typically, and on Wednesday mornings, 8 a.m. Pacific, which is for you, whatever it is, 8:30, some time of the year, 9:30 p.m. We have this kind of sessions, basically, but it's a closed door session, members only closed door sessions, and the recordings are not published outside. So you can come to any of those sessions. You can come to as many sessions as you want, and just kind of will work basically on your project.
And how are the investor connects and the fundraise process?
It's basically, we'll get your slide deck ready. In your case, you are quite far along, so it shouldn't take very long to get the slide deck ready to go to investors. As I pointed out, when you were pitching, your slide deck is missing bottom-up TAM analysis. We have to put that together. There's a module in the curriculum that explains how to do that. So go through that module, put that together, and you will have that, and I will iterate with you. Once we have the slide deck ready, I will basically introduce you to, in half an hour, I can introduce you to 25 investors, 30 investors. It really depends on the investor the investor entrepreneur fit issue. So in your case, I have a lot of investors I can think of off the top of my head who would be interested in what you're doing.
Okay. And the payment is one-time payment, or it can be monthly as well? Like, how is it?
Basic is $99 a month. The $1,000 annual membership fee is not monthly. It's a one-shot $1,000.
Okay.
So
got it.
It's basically the premium. You kind of have to make the commitment to the 1-year program for us to make that bet on you, because there is, sustained work in introductions, etc., all of that going on. Basic, you can get started and see how it's going. You can just start learning. And by the way, in many cases, entrepreneurs stay in the program for 2-3 years. Like, you must have heard of Girish Mathrubootham, the founder of Freshdesk, now Freshworks. Girish was in the program early on for 3 years. So it really depends on where you want to use the value. I have worked with companies that are very large, and in a consulting capacity, I work with very large companies. So I will be able to help you for a long time, but you have to decide that this is what you want to use as one of your tools for learning. A first-time entrepreneur's journey is a lot of learning. Santosh, you are very, very savvy technically. I can tell from what you're describing. The learning that you're going to experience is going to be in creating repeatability. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll see I talk a lot about repeatability. A high velocity startup, what is a VC trying to do? And this is, Rani, you have to understand this, Satyajit, you have to understand this. A VC is looking to invest in a company that can go from $0 to $100 million in 5 to 7 years, which means in the investment thesis that we are going to present to an investor on your behalf has to be something that can show a path to that kind of high velocity company. 0 to $100 million in 5 to 7 years is an extraordinarily high velocity company. So you have to be able to convince investors that you can deliver on that, and that requires repeatability. 5 customers, 25 customers is one thing. 200, 500, thousands of customers is a completely different ballgame. You need systems and processes. And so you will learn a lot of that in the program.
Got it.
Okay.
How it's going to help a D2C, as in I see that you are into tech majorly.
We are in tech and
AI
services. We do a lot of e-commerce.
Okay.
E-commerce is a tech-enabled service. E-commerce is not technology, but it's a tech-enabled service.
Okay.
So once you get into the program, you'll see we have a tremendous number. So the whole program, by the way, is case study-based learning. You will find lots of case studies to learn from. Thousands of entrepreneurs have been part of this program as case study contributors. So e-commerce is a very, very highly developed module that we have in the program.
Okay. And looking at the work which we are doing at the presentation, what do you think? Like, I just want to have your feedback too.
I think what you're doing is very interesting. What I would like to see and investors would like to see is a competitive analysis.
Okay.
Who do you consider your real competitors? And what is the differentiator? How do you position? You have some ideas and you have 30,000 customers. So there's a lot of knowledge in there that we have to extract and bring out in your presentation so that so right now, none of your pitches are completely investor ready. I will coach you on how to get a fully investor ready pitch and where I will guide you on where to do more work, what is needed. And then when you're ready, I will send you to the investors. Okay? All right. Looks like we are done.
Sramana, one last question. So suppose we get into an engagement where you help us raise some funds with VCs. So is there any success fee associated for the entire process?
We don't take any success fee.
Okay.
So this is that $1,000 basically gets you all the introductions and everything. Gets you the mentoring, gets you the introductions, everything.
I mean to say, once the investor comes in, like once the chat starts, once the thing starts between the brand and the investor, then you're out of it.
No, I will help you negotiate.
Okay.
So you have
you're there.
You've never in negotiated term sheets, so you have no idea what that process looks like. So you can come and ask questions. Like, for example, I was talking about Girish, right? Girish got a first term sheet that had a lot of liquidation preferences. I negotiated that. He ended up with the term sheet with no liquidation preference, but it was the first time he was doing it, so he didn't know what that meant.
Correct.
So this is, you will see when you get into the program, in the curriculum, you will see there's a whole financing section. There's a lot of stuff to learn in financing.
So Rani, by the way,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Stamina.
No, I was saying that we have, the reason I bring on investors all the time in these roundtables is to kind of give you a feel for how investors think. So there are tons and tons of case studies of investor discussions, investor conversations. This concept of investor and entrepreneur fit is really important. Investors invest in different sectors, different stages, different types of businesses. They have certain, preferences, SaaS businesses versus, they're the ones who are very SaaS oriented businesses don't necessarily invest in B2C. There are people who are very specifically interested in B2C. So those are the kinds of nuances you have to keep in mind in fundraising. Fundraising is not like a one size fits all. You can't take your slide deck and go see, the first investor who crosses your path who's to listen, because he may not be interested, may not be a fit. All right. So I'll see you maybe in the premium program.
Sure.
Talk to you
Definitely.
soon.
Sure.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Stamina.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.